In 1066, a Norman expedition invaded and conquered England. The Norman dynasty, established by William the Conqueror, ruled England for over half a century before the period of succession crisis known as the Anarchy, 1135 to 1154. Following the Anarchy, England came under the rule of the House of Plantagenet, a dynasty which later inherited claims to the Kingdom of France. During this period, Magna Carta was signed and Parliament became established. Anti-Semitism rose to great heights, and in 1290, England became the first country to permanently expel the Jews. 44–45. 6–1–7. A succession crisis in France led to the Hundred Years' War. 1337–1453. A series of conflicts involving the peoples of both nations. Following the 100 Years' Wars, England became embroiled in its own succession wars between the descendants of Edward III's 5 sons. The Wars of the Roses broke out in 1455 and pitted the descendants of the second son through a female line, Lionel of Antwerp, known as the House of York, against the House of Lancaster, who descended from the third son, John of Gaunt, and his son Henry IV, the latter of whom had overthrown his cousin Richard II, the only surviving son of Edward III's eldest son, Edward the Black Prince, in 1399. In 1485, the war ended when Lancastrian Henry Tudor emerged victorious from the Battle of Bosworth Field and married the senior female Yorkist descendant, Elizabeth of York, uniting the two houses. Under the Tudors and the later Stuart dynasty, England became a colonial power. During the rule of the Stuarts, the English Civil War took place between the parliamentarians and the royalists, which resulted in the execution of King Charles I, 1649, and the establishment of a series of republican governments. First, a parliamentary republic known as the Commonwealth of England, 1649 to 1653. Then a military dictatorship under Oliver Cromwell known as the Protectorate, 1653 to 1659. The Stuarts returned to the restored throne in 1660. Though continued questions over religion and power resulted in the deposition of another Stuart king, James II, in the Glorious Revolution, 1688. England, which had subsumed Wales in the 16th century under Henry VIII, united with Scotland in 1707 to form a new sovereign state called Great Britain, 8–9–10. Following the Industrial Revolution, which started in England, Great Britain ruled a colonial empire, the largest in recorded history, following a process of decolonization in the 20th century, mainly caused by the weakening of Great Britain's power in the two world wars. Almost all of the empire's overseas territories became independent countries.